not open forums for the community. That being said, visitors to these meetings are to conduct themselves properly and with respect to any other individuals at the meeting. The Board of Education reserves the right to remove any individual for improper display of behavior or inappropriate language. The Board of Education will have a period of time to vote at the visitor requests following any board presentations and the approval of minutes shortly after the opening of the meeting. Individuals wishing to address the board will be permitted to speak up to 3 minutes. For a total of 30 minutes may be allowed for public comment. If we have any visitors tonight, it looks like we might, we will go over the guidelines a little bit more closely when that time comes. Fady, there you are. Would you mind doing a roll call for us?
Sure. Mr. Loyson?
Here.
Mr. Zila?
Here.
Mrs. Emerson?
Here.
Mrs. Younger-Davis?
Present.
Mrs. Benjamin?
Mrs. Benjamin is excused tonight. She actually is getting an award for Rochester Businesswoman of the Year, I believe.
Nice.
Under 40, so it's a pretty cool deal for her. So she gets as long as we get to see the trophy or whatever it is that she's getting here next month. But I am present.
Mr. Stabell?
Yeah.
Mrs. Thompson?
Here.
And Mr. Bueller?
Present.
Okay, thanks, Fady. Tonight we have a couple of, just one presentation tonight. I'm sorry, I'm used to a couple. But Mr. Peterson, I think as promised, where'd you go, Mr.
Yeah,
Peterson? There you are.
So what I have today, and it's really one presentation with kind of two separate ones. So our math department chair of our departments, our science department chair, Jim Phelps. Just wanted to follow up a little bit on last month's meeting with the Regents data, so that we talk a little bit about things they're doing within their departments to improve student achievement. So I think we can do it one at a time, and Mr. Phelps go first. Mr. Pierce, where should I stand?
Try to stand in front of that mic.
This one? Wherever Rob Z tells you.
All right. Hey everyone, so if you missed, my name is Dylan Phelps. This is my second year in the science department chair role. Before I talk about some of our Regents improvement goals or just some stuff about the science department, I just want to talk about all the electives that we have to offer as a science team. I think we're one of the things we're pretty good at. So we offer forensics, AP Bio, science skills, AP Chem. Like right now, AP Chem has 12 kids in it. Anatomy and physiology. So those are just some electives that we offer outside of just our Regents classes. So I think that's pretty unique compared to a lot of other districts. But I guess the main reason that I'm talking about are some of our new science standards we have and our Regents goals and plan. So right now, biology and earth science have new standards that has just been implemented. Chem and physics are going to start in the next year or two, and our chem and physics data they're incredible, and compared to everybody in the region, I would say physics and chem are the best. But right now, in the biology and earth science spot, right now we've done some cross-referencing of all the old exam data and scores. So what we get is a question-by-question reference and what standard fits the question. So every year we go over those and we try to match them up with what we do well. But specifically with that, we are comparing it to the new standards because there's some adjustment. A lot of the material is the same, specifically for biology, which is what I teach. But again, there's still some crossover and some new stuff, so we're comparing it to old Regents exam data. One thing that the science department as a whole has done is we have a common test correction sheet with a point adjustment. So what that test correction sheet involves is identifying the question, what makes the answer correct, and then why was my response wrong. Another thing that we're doing is we created AIS sections for kids that we've identified that need some extra assistance, and we get that data based on past Regents exam scores and what they get on the 8th grade exam. Our 8th grade exam is one of the best in the Regents. Our students' performance on the 8th grade exam is the best. But again, right now we have 3 sections of AIS, and we just try to identify kids based on their final averages and teacher recommendations. So we have AIS sections for them. And then one last thing I want to talk about is some professional development. I know myself, I've attended 2 recent professional developments on the new science labs that are changing, that are state required. For the last 2 years, I've attended a science cadre at Monroe BOCES, and that's been really, really helpful getting some connections with some other teachers. And then this year I'm doing a PD at GV BOCES, and that one I'm actually like really enjoying because we're creating new lessons that are aligning with the new science standards, and that is on just like a large like Google sheet that we have access to. So again, those lessons are helpful in helping us create new tests that will also fit the new science, the new Regents exam that will be in June. So again, our goal is to just raise our Regents exam scores, and I think we're doing a bunch of stuff to achieve that. That's all I have. All right, cool. Man.
Are these new standards, are they New York State Next Gen standards?
Yeah,
They're just changing.
They call them NISLS, New York State Science Learning Standards, and they're based off the Next Gen standards. So New York State just took Next Gen and made them their own. So they're very similarly aligned.
So the continuity and flow from previous grade levels isn't going to be, there's not going to be a disconnect there with what the expectation is by the time they get to you.
No, so in elementary, they're already doing the Next Gen. Like all of the BOCES for Science kits that we talk about that we do in the elementary, they're all NISLS aligned.
Okay.
So everything as we build up and everything they're doing in middle school now, because they are doing the new assessments now, that's all NISLS aligned. It's just starting to trickle up now to the high school.
Gotcha. Okay, great. Thank you.
Dylan, before you sneak off too far, so they're just rolling them out from biology and earth science this year, and then it's going to roll out for the following
Correct.
years for chem and physics. And like when you look at them, are you like, oh my gosh, this is out of nowhere, or is it?
The content is
Yeah.
90% the same.
Yeah.
There's actually a little bit less content.
Mhm.
It's the delivery and the assessment that's different.
And then when you're with BOCES, Genesee Valley BOCES, Monroe 2 is pretty cool. We do a lot of work out there with Monroe 2. But Genesee Valley, are you looking to design like assessments with them, or you're mapping with them? Like what is it that you're going there for? I know you
Yeah,
touched
so
on it a little
we're
bit.
calling them performance tasks. That's like the new
Yeah,
terminology.
yeah, or the investigation.
And then
Yeah.
the new state labs are called investigations.
Yeah.
Those performance tasks, they're called clustering questions. So you read like an article on like somebody who gets sick at a marathon, and then you learn about human body systems and the energy transfer, all constantly relating to the marathon runner. So at the PD in Leroy I went to,
Yeah.
each person is trying to create their own idea, so not just on like a marathon runner that like the state might provide, but find other unique and creative ideas that might be local to like Genesee County, but also not just Genesee County. So each teacher is trying to create their own. They give other biology teachers, most of them are biology, but just more ideas and just more material, and pick and choose what you need.
Cool. So you'll have like almost like a pool that's developed that you can kind of look into.
Like right now, when I click on it, like just the other day, there was like 15 different ideas, and 3 of them were for human body systems, which is our like new unit we're going to be on, which is like nice because I'm like able to take a couple things from different teachers' material they make.
Well, it's tough because you don't have a lot of people you can collaborate with in building, right? You're kind of
Smaller district, which is
Yeah.
good, and it's tough sometimes, but it's also like nice because the captain, I guess.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for looking at the data and then providing analysis for a direction. Ms.
Thank you.
Harkness,
Hi, Mr. Stabell.
how are you?
My name is Barb Harkness. I've been a teacher here this is my 30th year. Department chair for 8, I think. First, I'd like to thank you all for your time and dedicating your time to our students and away from your own families. We want to talk about what our goals are to raise student achievement, and like Dylan said, I'm going to repeat a lot of the things that he said. The beginning of every year, we get our item analysis, and we cross-reference with the June Regents exams. Sometimes I go down to the vault and take the Regents exams that the kids have done and see, why did everybody miss this question? Was it something that we missed as a teacher, or was it something that they missed? Is this a function or is it not a function? When it says not a function, they choose the first choice, and it is a function, so it's good to look at where the mistakes are happening there. From the item analysis, we usually will create new assessments and add to our Monday review packets, which everybody loves to always hear about all year. That keeps our information spiraled so that we can go back and hit our topics that we are teaching September all the way through the year. Some of the intervention things, we do a lot of AIS in math, and it fills a lot of our teachers' schedules. We don't always have our own students for AIS. We work with other people's kids. And there's a lot of communication. We look at to see what standards the kids are missing, but we're also touching on what they might miss in class presently. So we like to hit both of those things. It's important to us that we get these kids in AIS in the beginning of the school year so that they don't get pulled out of study halls and feel like they're singled out. Once they're in that AIS, we like to think of it as fluid, that if they don't need it, they can move out of it. But I tend to think that once the kids are in there and they see the help that they're getting, that they like to stay there. It's a positive support for them. Some of the data points that we use are the STAR assessment and the New York State 6 through 8 testing. So a little bit different than science is math is consecutive. It constantly builds on itself all the way up through. So we also use the past math regent scores, but a big one is teacher recommendations. When we see that the kids are struggling, we know next year that they need that support. We want to get them in there so that they can thrive. The student support sheet is a great tool, having the two math teachers on different days, 2 days a week. The kids can come in for math help specifically from a math teacher. Some kids do that on their own, where others are forced to do it. But office hours is another great place where we reinforce, reteach, get the kids confident in what they're doing. Some of the professional development that we do, several of our teachers are attending cohorts. I was not able to this year because they backed up to a day that I was already going to be out, and I can't stand missing school, so I missed out on those. And Kristen Leiker does a great job with our math team with the 3 through 8. They all work together, and she builds their knowledge through that math team. Our goal, we always want 100% passing. It doesn't matter. I mean, increase the scores 5%. I'm going in, I want everybody to pass. But I also want to increase mastery. That's a goal of mine. So when Common Core first started, it was really hard to get kids into the 90s. It's just the way that the bell curve worked and the formula for them to get their scores. But now we're getting that. So when Mr. Peterson showed our scores, algebra had 91% passing and only 13% mastery, but that's because everybody has to take the algebra exam. Geometry was 78% passing, but 28% mastery, which is almost a third. And Algebra 2 was 95% passing. The one kid that didn't pass passed in August, so I'm going to bump that up to 100%. That I teach Algebra 2. And 30% mastery. So I want the kids to know that learning is good, that they should strive to be really good at what they do and to put forth the effort. And I think that's lacking a lot. That's all I have.
We'd like to say thanks. Your dedication to this district is, I remember when you started. I think I was in 11th grade when you first started. And maybe Jackie was a little older and didn't quite make the cut. But we've been here for that whole amount of time, but your effort that you put in is maybe even greater than what it was. I think like you're very hard on yourself, but the results are fantastic. I know my son, if he's laying on the floor over there, I don't know if he is, really enjoyed you, and a lot of kids, it's not so much, they may come into class with not a ton of effort, but you give them that reason to really try. And don't be so hard on yourself all the time. Really, that mastery is great, but like the percent passing is unbelievable, and mastery will come. So thank you for coordinating your department and working with Mrs. Leiker in 3 through 8. It makes a difference because, like you said, it lines up, and I agree, it's linear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Definitely.
if you the hardest part about math is just getting to class and doing it, right? Like when those gaps start to form, they're hard to backfill. And the AIS that you have worked into your day is fantastic, and it's greatly appreciated. Those statistics are something you should be really proud of. So,
And I give a shout out to our whole department because
Sure.
they work really hard at what we do. Together we work, independently we work, but we're a really great department.
well, we thank you so much for sharing your data. It's great work, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, on to item 3, it's the approval of minutes. Be it resolved that the minutes of the October 21st, 2025 regular meeting be approved. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Cool. That goes to Ty. Ty goes to Mr. Zeloff. Can I get any, or is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Fady, I think we have visitors tonight.
We do. We have Mrs. Chamberlain.
All right, Ms. Chamberlain. Wherever you feel comfortable tonight,
I'll go
Jackie.
near the microphone.
Sure.
Is it going to be?
You can move that.
No, whatever you like.
I do have paperwork for you guys, but I'll wait to hand it out. For those of you who don't know, I am Jacqueline Chamberlain. I am the mother of Gunnar Chamberlain, who is sitting right here with us. My husband is also here. And Gunnar is currently being excluded from Oakfield-Alabama School District due to the administration second-guessing the submitted medical exemption. I do want to thank those of you on the board who heard me, who listened to me, and who advocated on Gunnar's behalf for him to remain in school as long as possible. Despite our differences, which we do have, you chose to do what was in the best interest of Gunnar, and I really do thank you. I also want to thank the student body who have shown up in support of Gunnar and all those visitors. Thank you. It means the world to our family. First of all, I'd like to ask the board, why was our son's medical exemption not honored at the school level? Are not any other doctor's notes honored? When someone has a sports injury, when someone has an allergy, do they not honor those? Do they second guess those? I'm asking. Can you answer?
So Jackie, you will ask. We're going to listen to what you have
Okay.
to say tonight.
All right,
and
then.
Well, I don't want to cut you off, Jackie, but just I didn't go over the expectations tonight because I think we're going to be okay throughout this process here. But if you pose a question to us, we're not usually going to respond right back
Okay.
to you, and we prefer to probably put it back to you in writing, but it's not any disrespect to what you're talking about at all. So
Understood.
If you ask us a question, we're not ignoring you. We're listening to you, and we will get back to you.
So think about that.
Yeah.
Do they not honor any other doctor's notes? Okay. We submitted a legal New York State medical exemption signed by a New York State licensed doctor on an official New York State form. We have had special testing done that we have also submitted to the school district that indicates that Gunnar cannot process the ingredients in the immunizations causing harm to him. He has had 3 rounds of vaccines, once at 2 weeks, once at 4 months, and once at 8 months. He had reactions after every single vaccination much worse than the one before. Any parent would have done what my husband and I did, and we researched the heck and we talked to our medical doctor, and therefore Gunnar cannot have these vaccines. We have not sought a medical exemption until this point because we have always homeschooled. We enjoy homeschooling. I love having my kids at home. And it was not until this year that Gunnar expressed serious interest in coming to public school. Therefore, that's when we started seeking a medical exemption. There was a reason why we had not up until this time. When was the board, next question, when was the board notified that we submitted a medical exemption and your administration that you guys employ second guessed it? When were you notified? When did you receive these documents? Did you receive all of the documentation that we submitted? Did you receive the testing? I want to express some disappointment in the administration and how they handled Gunnar's medical exemption. We firmly believe that the district has overstepped the law in second guessing our medical doctor. Both Mr. Peterson and Nurse Starkweather submitted sworn testimony against Gunnar remaining in school while this process was complete, because after you guys denied the medical exemption, we started the appeal process. That appeal process is a lengthy one. The school administration could have chosen to allow this student to remain in school while this appeal process was taking place. But Mr. Peterson and Nurse Starkweather chose to submit sworn testimony against my son remaining in school. Gunnar is hardworking, he's involved in all the right ways, and out of Mr. Peterson's own mouth on the phone with me and several other faculty members, he's a great student and an asset to our student body, yet he chose to submit a sworn testimony against Gunnar remaining in school. On Thursday, October 30th, via phone call with Mr. Peterson, he stated that he does not make the medical decisions, nor does he write the letters that he sent to me. He just signs his name to them. However, in a sworn statement, which I assume you guys all have, point 18, he stated that he in fact did make the decision to not allow Gunnar to remain a student during this appeals process. At the very least, this is unprofessional and looks as though he was not telling me the truth on that phone call. I did not appreciate having that done to me, and it appears as if you had something to hide. In reviewing Nurse Starkweather's sworn testimony, she states on point 16 that she was not made aware of any adverse reactions that our older daughter, Haley, had previously had. Haley is sitting here in the audience. I am unsure why Nurse Starkweather thought that that was privy to her, and it has nothing to do with her. That was between Haley's medical doctor and us. Those vaccines that she had were before Haley was a high school student here. And do you tell the nurse every bit of information? She's not privy to that information. It doesn't matter. But yet she put that in her sworn testimony. And I need you guys to listen. This is serious. What is even more concerning, and Nurse Starkweather points out on number 15 that, quote, she is familiar with the student's two younger sisters' immunization records. They have not received any vaccinations per NICES, end quote. I am unsure how she obtained this highly confidential information, but based on her sworn testimony, it appears she requested both of our daughters' immunization records through the NICES program. If this is true, this is in direct violation of her authority. It's highly unprofessional. As per the New York Code's rules and regulations under Title 10, it states a lot of things, but specifically, read-only access allows the user to view only those children under their administrative responsibilities information. Stella and Quinn, both of our daughters, have never been under Nurse Starkweather's administration or administrative responsibility. This information has absolutely nothing to do with our son's medical exemption. It has certainly made us question why she would obtain those records and include the information in her sworn testimony. That does not pertain to our issue at hand under Gunnar's medical exemption. Can anyone answer on the board as to why your employee requested, per her sworn testimony, NICES information when those two children do not attend here as students? I think you guys understand. You have several medical people on your board. How serious of an issue this is. Based on this information, we're going to be filing a FOIL and a preservation of evidence with the district pertinent to all in this matter. We trust that the district will honestly and wholly follow this request, and if found to be true, Nurse Starkweather could face legal action along with the school district on top of the medical exemption. Despite this unfortunate situation, and we have asked Gunnar every single step of this way, do you want to continue to pursue staying a student at Oakfield? And he says yes, wholeheartedly. He loves being here. He has loved the last few months. He looks forward to the day he can return. I am also aware of the letter that the New York State Department of Health has sent regarding schools can be fined up to $2,000 per day by allowing a student with a denied medical exemption to attend the school. Do your research. The Department of Health does not have the authority to fine the school district, nor have they ever in their history fined a school district for that. They can't do it. You as a board can end this. You can ask the administration that you employ to approve his medical exemption. We do not want to take further action against the school district. We do not want to do legal action. But if you guys do not resolve this, that may happen. I also have I'll give this to Heidi. There you go. That is my FOIL request, and that is my preservation of evidence. I will be bringing another one to the district office, but I want her to have a copy. And here is also the copy of Nurse Starkweather's sworn testimony, just a portion of it. I've highlighted where she states that. The second copy is also part of the laws under Section 10 of that she overstepped her bounds and is not authorized to obtain that information. And I don't have copies for everyone, but I do have a copy. I do have a copy of his medical exemptions, if you guys did not receive them, along with the testing that shows that he does have the gene mutation where he cannot process the additives in the vaccine and process those out. So if you do not have a copy of that as a board, you can have that as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for everybody else coming to support Jackie and Gunner. More than a difficult situation. And I look at a lot of the faces out here in the crowd. I know you personally, and I care about you, Dave. And this is something that we're working really hard to rectify, and we will answer the questions within the next probably 48 hours.
Mr. Stabell, we can't hear you back here at all.
We can't do
So-
that. We can't do that. We can't answer any questions.
So we can't answer any questions. Yeah.
This is a legal matter.
A legal matter. So, very brave of you to come up and talk, and I appreciate it. You clearly care about your son a great deal, and we do as well. Moving forward, we'll do our best, our very best. Thank you. Okay, on to item 5.
Are you taking any other comments?
Go ahead, Jeremy. You don't have to sign up. Go ahead. Yep.
I'm familiar with Robert's rules, and I can appreciate the fact that it's a legal matter, but you're not in executive session either. So as a community member, I'm wondering, do we get to get those answers that you're going to give Jacqueline? Because it's not any HIPAA laws that I know of, and she did ask quite a few questions to you on the board. And if you're going to give answers, how do us in the community get to hear that? Is the first thing, if you're able to answer that.
Thanks, Jeremy. For me, this is a little bit of uncharted territory. I don't mean to defer to you, Mr.
No,
Vance,
that's
but,
okay.
I
So
apologize.
we're dealing with an individual student, and there are laws governing that. So this isn't the type of information that would be shared with the public unless the family wanted to do that. So that would be up to the family at some future time.
Okay, I can respect that. A couple of the questions will have nothing to do with law, or basically, I think she asked, did everybody on the board? I'm not looking for an answer now, but you and I haven't met, Mr. B. I appreciate you being
Sure.
here for our bridge till we get a new superintendent. But some of us in the community, these are our peers. And the people who decided whether this kid was going to be in school or not aren't part of our district. And I have a problem that I run a few businesses. You're the CEO of our school right here. This is our board. And if we have employees making decisions that our board is not in favor of, that our CEO is not in favor of, I think that's a problem. And I think our board is accountable to us because we vote them. We don't vote you in. We don't have a say in the employees that you folks hire. And so I think there are questions that should be answered that are, did you receive the correct information when it was handed in, whatever day that might be? And I don't think the board should have to make decisions if they don't, just like any of us, that don't have all the correct information. Secondly, I'm not nervous, but we all know the track record of the school over the last 6 months or a year. and we've made great strides, and are certain employees going to put our school in jeopardy of another lawsuit? We already had a go around with the last superintendent, or a lawsuit with the village of Oakfield over water. If I was these folks, and if they handed in what was correct, and it was a real doctor that handed that in, and they have counsel representing them that is representing quite a few people in New York State, I think you need to look at that, us Oakfield residents. And who's making the decision for this young man not to continue? And what was the difference from when he started in September to now? Because 2 people didn't want him here? Or maybe more, which is fine, and it's okay to have a difference of opinion. But if opinion is keeping him out, and not, you mentioned legal, if they did everything right, and I believe, Mr. B, you said, and the board said, and correct me if I'm wrong, or you can send me an email to tell me if I'm wrong, but you can't say it, that you allowed him to stay during the appeal process. How did 2 employees trump you guys? I don't understand that. And if that was my kid, I would be beside myself. And I don't want to sue. We're suing each other, right? But that's where it's headed. And if you can do everything you can do within your power, because none of this matters, that kid matters. Who wants to be a Hornet, right? And if you can do everything in your power to do the right thing by the kid, then he gets sued, you get sued. But it sounds like we're getting steamrolled here by some employees. And I don't think the school, especially if we're going to lose plug power, the budget got voted down. We already have some issues coming up with budget. And if we get another lawsuit, and I'll back them if they do. That's my concern. And a little bit of transparency for the community. I don't come to every meeting, but I do watch occasionally. I don't see this many people. So that means the community cares. And if we have another meeting, it'll probably be double. Which is good, right? Which is good. Doesn't mean we'll get the answer that we want. We just want transparency and we want fairness. You can't mess with a 14 or 15-year-old kid that it's okay during the appeal you can go to school. Oh, now all of a sudden because somebody has a personal opinion that feels smarter than a doctor, now you can't go to school anymore? Makes no common sense. And I think that's on you guys.
So
Thank you.
wrong.
So I will say, at a very high level, there is a process. There is a process through this whole thing, that this was not based on any opinion by any individual. So I just want to be clear about that. This is a very difficult situation. And again, there's mechanisms by which we try to resolve them. And we really can't say anything more than that.
I said what I needed. I believe that you gave the kid an opportunity to stay during the appeal. Did you not?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
did. We contacted our lawyers.
That's-
We went to
that's
the
my
absolute
point.
extent, and that is what we
And
did.
we got overruled by 2 people who don't live in the
No,
district.
it had nothing to do with them, Jeremy. It's the state, it's the commissioner that made that decision at the very end of the day, and that is it.
But it didn't have to go
Yeah,
right.
I'd like to speak as his father.
It did not have to.
Thank you, Jeremy, for having my back for 40 years. Not gonna lie to you. Thank you, everybody else that's here. I love it. So as I look around this room, the first thing I see is the flag, the Statue of Liberty, and George Washington, all emblems of freedom. My son is being denied medical freedom. That's what this case is about. He's being denied. Generally, we can talk about the specifics all night. He's being denied. This case did not have to go outside of the school. It's only up to the administration to sign that exemption. It didn't have to be sent anywhere else. So to say it's this process and everything, it can be because it was made to be that way. It did not have to be. Anyone that tells you different, I believe, is not telling you the truth. It could have stayed in-house. I want everybody to know that. As far as being open and family being revealing, we've revealed our heart and soul tonight and told you everything about his medical records that I don't know what else I could tell you. I mean, we've told you everything. I'm not saying that sarcastically, but I'm not afraid to tell anybody in the community anything about our situation. We haven't blabbed about it or been gossiping about it. We've listened to everything everybody said, and anybody that asked, we've told them the truth. That's what this is all about. So just to clear up some of that. This has been emotionally exhausting on our family, particularly my wife and son. So, I mean, myself as well, but it's been very hard to watch that because this could have been over a long time ago. It's never, ever, ever had to get to this point. Everybody, please remember that. We do not have to be here tonight. Did not have to. And it is the opinion of people at the school why he's not here. Of course it's their opinion. It's second guessing our doctor's opinion. That's why we're here. We have sworn testimony saying that. Anybody that tells me different, I'll hand you the affidavit. I couldn't care less. I'll show it to you. Anybody that wants it, let me know. So that is the truth in my opinion. I believe it is the truth. I just wanted to point those things out. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, on to item 5, approval of the warrants. Be it resolved that after an audit of the bills, payment of the warrants, and internal claims auditor reports be approved. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. On to 5.2, the treasurer's reports. Be it resolved, the treasurer's reports of September 2025 be approved. Can I get a motion? Move, Pete.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
Sorry, I didn't catch who the first motion was.
Pete, and then Natalie.
Thank you.
Why, wait a second, where did Mallory just go? Marina, where did she just go?
She not voting on this?
She might have.
Okay.
What's that?
She might have excused herself.
Is she going to be excluded from the vote, or you want to re-vote, or not?
I think they'd have to exclude.
Excluded? Okay.
Where did she just
For
go?
the last two? For the last two things, I don't think she voted on that one, so just, I guess she's not on that. Let's see, one, do we have enough to?
Fade,
Put her
we
down
might-
as
did we-
abstaining
was
from
she-
those votes.
Did we catch her?
Here she comes.
Yes, she wants to be included in those
We don't
votes.
want to exclude you from a vote, Maria,
I'm
sorry.
so sorry.
No, that's
Thank
okay.
you.
Yeah.
Do we have to repeat the last two?
Should we go back, Fade, to
Because she wasn't involved in
5-2?
that?
I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay, Maria. Can we just go back one item, please?
5-2?
Yeah, 5-2, please.
Yep.
Is that okay? So this goes back to 5-2. Be it resolved that the treasurer's reports for September 2025 be approved. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Thanks, Pete.
Second.
Thank you, Natalie. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. That's the only one we missed, I believe, and there's no policy tonight. Excuse me. On to reports. Laura is not here tonight, so Rob, you're up to bat, buddy.
Yep, just a couple of things, really, some nice things that have happened, this past week. I'll start with Friday and the Veterans Day recognition and ceremony that was really a very poignant and well done event for our students and for our vets in the area. It was very, very impressive, and the time and talents of our staff and our students were on display for a very, very appropriate reason. And then earlier in the week, the cabaret and all that goes into making that a success was really, really quite impressive.
Thanks, Rob. Lynn?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about two areas tonight. For the CSD department, I just want to give a thanks to Summer Furness. She has taken on a great deal of our 504 chairs, and she's creating a protocol to really collect the information on students, get parent and teacher input, to really make sure that those kids are supported. And I want to thank her for that time and effort. I think that's going to be a really nice document for us moving forward for all of our meetings for the 504 sections. And then a thank you to the community and the PTO. The turkey feathers are flying through the house because they don't stick to the wall. So their feathers are everywhere. We're constantly picking them up. But it's been a huge success. And if people aren't sure why they're using that money, the PTO will sponsor children for field trips if there's families that can't afford them. They will sponsor our snack shack along with the goose. There's just so many opportunities. They help administration if they're doing breakfasts and ways to celebrate them. They do their own thank you to our faculty and staff. So the PTO really pours their heart and soul into our community, and this is just another really great fundraiser. Not gonna lie, the turkey feathers are driving me crazy walking through the hall because they don't stick, but the kids are loving it. And this year the twist was each week they could earn a prize. So week 1 they could earn something for a class. The second week they could earn something. This week, the final finale is earning a class trip to the local bowling alley. So they're keeping it local as well. So just a nice little thank you for Thanksgiving.
Well, and thanks for the double duty here.
Got
I
it.
appreciate it. Girls said they enjoy seeing you in the cafeteria.
I'm not sure everybody appreciates me in the cafeteria, but they sure know when I'm there.
So thanks for doing that. I know that's not just as easy as turning a switch on and doing it. So thank you so much. Let's see here. Connie, any updates tonight?
We've talked a lot about the New York Inspires plan, and we've focused mainly on graduation requirements are changing, but there's really a lot more that goes into this plan, and the state is slowly starting to roll these out. Coming in January, whereas we had and continue to have a lot of PD sessions, the state shares information about the change in graduation requirements. They are now having an elementary session and how the New York State Inspires plan will impact our elementary. And they've recently released a new requirement that the guidelines are starting to come out. So personal finance will be required for all students. It's going to be required not only for our 9 through 12 students, also our 5 through 8 students, and also our K through 4 students. In addition to that, it's a climate education requirement that's going into place. At this point, the only things that we have a solid on are the rollout plan. So next year, starting in the fall, the finance, it's basically, if you think of financial literacy, they call it personal finance, but it's teaching the kids about how to be financially literate. That will be required to be implemented at the high school level and at the middle school level. The following year, it rolls over to the elementary. And then the year after, climate education comes in. So we have this kind of rolling start, but it's starting with the older grades and going down instead of like with the standard stuff, we start lower and we go up. It's actually, I think, going to be kind of exciting when I look at it. The new NISLA science standards, Earth Science covers a lot of climate education. Our business, Matt and I worked with Joe Punk, our business teacher. He's working with a teacher in Akron who actually is highlighted in the state for their financial and personal finance programs. He's collaborating with her to make sure we can get our courses aligned. So I think we will be able to do this, maybe not seamlessly, but with minimal bumps. The state is saying March is when they're going to kind of put this basically into, I don't know if they call it law, but it will be solidified in March. So it's coming down the pipeline, but we're on it and we're following it. And just like everything else, we'll get her done.
Yeah.
But this is good stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Financial literacy and some of the concepts, it's important stuff for our kids to be learning.
How did you make that connection with Akron? What was how did
You know someone who knows someone
who knows someone who knows somebody?
Right?
That's it. You're not going to tell,
Right,
huh?
someone who knows somebody.
That's super cool. I love to hear that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Thanks, Connie.
Yep.
I think you did your elementary thing,
Yep,
Lynn.
did it.
Mr. Peterson.
Two things, just to follow up on highlight Mr. Banzer's Veterans Day Assembly, which is an awesome day. I want to give Tracy Schlagenoff, Bill Snyder a shout out. They do a lot of behind the scenes stuff, organizing veterans who come in and the guests who come in to speak. So kudos to them. Kudos to Mrs. Fisher, who organizes a really cool farm to table luncheon. Partners with a lot of our local farms to bring in that produce and produce just a top class lunch. So kudos to them. It was a great day. And then the other thing I want to talk about is it's new, and Connie's doing some behind the scenes work with our teacher leaders, so department chairs, grade level liaisons, to layer on more and more leadership for those people so that they can in turn just be better at what they do. So that's coming down the pike soon, just some basic training, initial training, and then ongoing professional development.
Well, thanks. And thanks for the math and science tonight. I appreciate it, Mr. Peterson. Mr. Montroy.
Yeah, we're in a bit of a transition period. It was fantastic a couple weeks ago to go out to Letchworth and watch our cross-country team compete class sectionals. And our boys are Class D2 sectional champs, including Mr. Loyson here, so congratulations to them. Coach Bueller, Coach Reaver putting countless hours. I appreciate their efforts as a parent and how hard our kids run and how much they sacrifice for those two to be able to run as well as they do. And then we're transitioning into our winter sports. We had our parent-athlete orientation last week, and we're rolling. Practices started last night, and we're in the pool, we're on the courts, we're in the halls, we're full steam ahead.
Thanks,
As
Jason.
quickly as it's over, we're back in.
Yeah, it doesn't stop, does it?
Doesn't stop.
And thanks for the orientation. You did a nice job the other night. I appreciate that as well. Mr. Z.
All right, well, first up, I have to say I'm nervous this whole meeting because this is the first time we're using these new cameras, hand-tilt zoom cameras, you might notice here, instead of the iPads. They give us some more capabilities, such as I can set shots and get closer and kind of move around where I couldn't do that with the iPads, it just stood still. And then some double shots, too, where as you guys were talking and they were talking, kind of hit both in the same shot. So it gives us an upgrade of what we can do, but I'm really looking forward to it for assemblies and musicals and sporting events because they are AI cameras that you lock onto a person or an object and it follows them automatically. So I can see for the musical, I can lock onto the main character and it'll actually follow them around the stage. And I can switch between them remotely too. So that, a little nerve-wracking, but so far so good. I won't say 100% until I watch it to see how everything sounds. But so far so good with that. The other thing to mention is two things behind the scenes. Our security camera server upgrade and our phone system, our Cisco phones, are now going to be cloud-based as opposed to servers here on campus that we maintain. Those are big projects happening behind the scenes, so nobody will even know that it's happening because the phones will work the same way, the security cameras will work the same way. But again, it takes the onus off of us to put patches for security on, make sure it's updated, because having only two of us to maintain it, that's a lot. And we actually are saving money by moving to the cloud and not having to replace servers, which can be 40 to 50,000 each times two in that security situation. So that's that. And then the last thing I'll end with is next week I'll be at the NICE conference, which is the New York State Computers and Technologies in Education. It's a long one. And as you can imagine, just about every session has AI as a part of it. So I'm presenting a session on how we use Deladeo, our web filter that does use AI.
What is it called? Because our business.
NICE.
Yeah, I know that part. But what?
Deladeo.
Deladeo?
Deladeo, yes. In place of
Deladeo?
Air.
Figaro. It sounds like. So wait a second. Deladeo.
Deladeo.
Deo.
DLEDAO.
All right.
And their claim to fame is they hold the patent on artificial intelligence being used to monitor what's being seen or heard on the site. So for example, we pick a site like Facebook. Typically a school is saying we block Facebook. But there could be positive stuff on the site as well as negative stuff. So rather than the old way of adding whitelisting and blacklisting websites, complete websites, we can allow the AI to look for imagery, sounds, or video that may be considered inappropriate. It'll blur it, it'll black it out, swear words will have a redacting over it, like you took a magic marker over it. So now we don't have to look at the old way of doing things, which was the blacklist and whitelist. Now stuff can be open, and if a percentage of it is considered inappropriate, it blocks the whole site. If only a part of it is inappropriate, it blocks just that portion of the site. And this is especially helpful for, like, imagine like a Wikipedia article. They might have some information in there that's beneficial, but also some slang words or terms. It can block those out. So perhaps elementary kids that don't really aren't familiar with certain words, that's blocked out, but they can still see the rest of the page.
So right now it's more binary, right? It's either you can see it or you can't see it.
That was
right.
with the GoGuardian method and with most. Yes.
And now it's going to be more judicious about. So like the other day, there was something we were reading in class about Oscar Mayer wieners, right? It was in the book. And I was like, guys, you know that song? And they're like, no, we don't, Mr. Staval. I was like, oh, man. And then I tried to sing it, right? And I couldn't remember the words. I'm not going to ask you to sing it now, Rob, but it'd be fun if we all went into chorus.
Yeah.
And I tried to put it on YouTube, and guess what? Blocked.
Yeah.
Oscar Mayer wiener. You can imagine why it was blocked. And then I tried to do We Got Slinkies out the other day, and they had never heard the Slinky song. You know, Slinky, Slinky, it's a fun and wonderful toy, and it's
Fun for a girl and a boy.
It is. Yeah, it goes up the stairs and goes in pairs. And it wouldn't come up with Slinky either, and I thought Slinky was like no big deal, but it was again blocked. So you're saying perhaps if we do Deladeo,
Yes.
I could listen to my Slinky song with my
The
kids.
example that I give, and I don't know if I said it in this group or not, but.
Did that plane
if you remember
just
the TV
land?
show-
It did. It did. It
Okay.
took me a while. Yep, I got it.
There it is.
Sorry, Rob.
We're back.
This show's my age, but remember the show Baywatch?
Yes, I do.
All right, from the 1990s.
Some people have called me.
That they use that
No.
as an example. The
No.
1 minute opener video that has a variety of different imagery in it.
I can imagine it's all blocked.
No, and about maybe 30-40% of it is blocked. And when a scene comes up with someone in, skin exposed, it blurs it and mutes the audio, and as it leaves, then it comes back. And then it blurs and unblurs, blurs and unblurs. So it's doing it live in real time, so that you're not saying block the whole thing, but you're blocking the parts that would be considered inappropriate in a school setting. And you can go low, medium, or high, so it's not all or nothing, you can fine tune it. So there's things like that, and that's a powerful thing, because most people can recognize that we're not showing nudity, but we're showing something not appropriate for school. And that is a great demo. Every time I went, that's actually how I saw it, the example, when they showed it. They said, the new way of doing it is, we don't know what's on the web so much, so let's just filter based on certain criteria. And that's what AI can help.
And I like the parent component of it. So as a parent, I can see how much time my child's been on the internet, if they've been on blog sites, if they've been on school sites, how much work is being dedicated.
That's for the
I get the-
Deladeo as well.
every Sunday
We rolled it
afternoon.
out widely. I think Natalie was one of our first beta testers on that. We had about a dozen
I
people
love it.
try it. You can set limits where, like, after 11 p.m., no YouTube. You can say after, a certain time, you can't go on social media sites or gaming sites. So the parent now becomes the district administrator outside of school hours.
Yeah.
Love
Because
it.
the Chromebook knows that it's not on their IP address anymore, so it knows it's outside of school. So now the parent could put in controls or just simply look and see what is the history of what their child is doing.
And you're presenting that next week? You're going to be...
All the different flavors of it, yes. Because it also involves the monitoring in class, so the teacher can see all 20-some screens on their screen.
Yeah.
And, which is also what GoGuardian did. So it has that aspect, and it also has the safety alerts. If there is suicide mentions, anything like that, it red flags it, puts it up there for us to see, and our SRO engages with that. So really, there's like 3 branches to it. Web filtering is one of those 3 branches.
Super cool. Super cool, Rob. All right, Adam, Trina, anything to report tonight?
Oh, we just like to say we've had 3 months and enjoyed working with Mr. Banzer smoothly. We've had construction musical classroom, and Matt's been helping us with that. Everybody's bouncing somewhere, but we've all survived. It's been a pretty good year to start off.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Hopefully it continues. And Elijah, Mr. Lyson, I think you're up next.
Thank you. So, in the last few weeks with fall sports wrapping up, we've had some pretty successful outcomes. With respect to cross country, as Mr. Montroy said, we won our division at Letchworth, which was D2. Mr. Montroy was there to offer support, so it was nice to see him out there. On that same note, for the Genesee Region All-Star Pictures recognition, Coach Bueller won Coach of the Year, which is great. And afterwards, Mr. Montroy also carried out the tradition of taking us all to lunch, so kind of another benefit on top of the benefit. Not to be redundant, but to bank off of that which Mr. Banzer expressed, we had the Veterans Day Assembly last week, which from my observations, it went very well. The Student Council was able to represent a large number of veterans and kind of commemorate them for all their service. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Elijah. Okay, on to new business. Be it resolved that items 8.2 through 8.3 be approved by consent agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Thanks. Maria, can I get a second?
Second.
Thanks, Jackie. Any discussion?
It should be 8.4.
8.4. Apologize there. So let me try that again. Thank you, Rob. Be it resolved that items 8.2 through 8.4 be approved via consent agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Thanks, Maria, again. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thanks, Jackie. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, just we've got on to item 8.5. It's our reserve fund plan, and I asked Mr. Banzer just to kind of just talk to us a little bit on the reserve
Sure.
plan,
So,
if you
so
don't mind?
the plan that the board has in front of them is an extension of the auditor's report from last meeting. Take this piece out, and essentially this enumerates the purpose of each plan, how it can be spent, who needs to approve it. Sometimes it's just the board, sometimes it's the public through a voter referendum, and it also specifies what the money can be used for. So, for instance, there's things in there about capital projects. There are things in there about unemployment, teacher retirement, both for the TRS and the ERS. So those are just some of the examples that are in there. And again, all of the reserves are enumerated out there. In addition to that, it's what the auditors had recommended that we fund them to, based on closing the books from last year.
Thanks. Appreciate that, and it's very similar to what was explained throughout the course of the budget last year as well. And these are documents that we can access at any point in time. It's my hope that we have the ability to look at these online, and,
Yes.
and they'll be on our Oakfield website.
Yep.
Be it resolved that the thank you.
Sure.
Be it resolved that the attached reserve fund plan be approved by the Board of Education. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Thanks, Kev. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Natalie. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. On to personnel. Okay, be it resolved that items 11.2 through 11.11 be approved by consent agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Marina, can I get a second?
Second.
Jackie, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Excuse me. All right, on to closing remarks. Kevin, if you don't mind, I'd like to start with you. Please.
Still shaking off from earlier. But I enjoyed the Baywatch talk, and that kind of helped. That kind of helped. I appreciate that. But I was thinking, what can I say today? And I was thinking, well, November is the month of thanks, and wanted to put out there to the top, thank you, Mr. Banzer. And I know Justin mentioned something previously amongst us, that your professionalism is well appreciated. You take so much pride in what you do, and we could not have asked for a better interim in the meantime to help us through this transition. And just thank you for doing what you're doing every day. It's like you're a part of the community, like you've been always a part of the community. You've taken us all in, and it's been much appreciated. And you're creating very large shoes to fill with only a few months being here. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And just to that, there's many hardworking leaders, teachers, support staff throughout this district.
Would you stop and just say thank you?
It's
All
been my-
right, come on now.
It's been my
You're doing a
pleasure to
great
work
job.
with.
Yeah,
It's been my pleasure to work
You're
with.
amazing.
And yeah, that was my next part, was to thank those other individuals. I mean, we have Lindsay doing double duty, Connie and Mr. Peterson. I'm really looking forward to the New York State Inspires, especially the financial piece. And now I put that part of my board initiation. I love that part. I think it's a huge part that has been lacking of our academics in this school, and I'm sure the whole entire state. Mr. Montroy, I hear wonderful things about how you've undertaken the academic role, the sports administrator role. It's been a very smooth transition. I hear nothing but good things, and it means a lot to the kids that you went to the sectional meet. And congratulations again. Congratulations to my brother. He's a crazy man, but he gets the kids to run, which is hard to say, because I remember an old shirt back in the day used to say that our sport is your sport's punishment. So kudos to you guys. That was a great shirt.
It's got to be a Goldstein shirt.
It might have been a Goldstein shirt. Yeah.
I've seen that. It's a Goldstein shirt.
Yeah. And then what Mr. Banzer was saying, thank you to all the teachers that come in day out, but also, coach or part of clubs, do all the extracurricular stuff, that spend a lot of countless hours not with their families and they spend a lot of time here. It means a lot to the kids. It brings a smile to their face. All the teacher aides, Mrs. Montecino, Mrs. Larson, who I see, or Lorman that I see, bring out my child every day. I think it's day in, day out to help the teachers keep their sanity. So thank you very much for the teachers and the custodians, the maintenance, the cafeteria workers. Everyone is a big puzzle. So thank you to you all. I want to make sure that they all know that everything they do day in, day out is much appreciated because it's all about the kids. So thank you to everyone.
Thanks, Kevin. Maria?
How do I follow that? Thanks, everyone. I appreciate you all, too. More than he does, sure. No. Yes, everything that he said, I will say ditto. Congratulations to our cross-country team on that block. It's always nice to bring one of those back for the trophy case. I know that you guys worked extremely hard. It's wild to me that you decide, like, I'm going to run for fun. It's just not something, it's not me. But I see you guys doing it 12 months a year in the snow, in the heat. Your dedication is noticed. So congratulations, well deserved, very much so. The cabaret was amazing. We have so much talent, and every year I come back to the table saying I cannot believe how much talent we have, whether it's vocals, dancing, the instruments, but also just our music department at large as well. Those kids just didn't wake up with those talents and those abilities one day. They've worked very hard from a young age, and they've been guided, by our music department as well. And I understand that we have a few moving on in college to further pursue music and dancing and singing and things like that. So well done again on a wonderful performance. And then the Veterans Day is just always something that I know the faculty and students look forward to. I think the meaningful connections with having our own veterans come in and hearing the last names and being like, hey, I know that last name and I know so-and-so. So just being able to bring that here to our school, I think is very powerful for our students in a world that's kind of crazy and pulling them in several directions. So thank you for keeping that tradition alive. I also look around the room and I see these volcanoes everywhere.
Jackie's coming in with her SUV to load them all up later.
When I do want this back.
With a match.
Because this is Annabelle's here, and I will say it was a great mother-daughter bonding experience. It brought us very close yet very far apart as well.
That was what it was meant to do.
I don't know where to turn the receipts in, but I have them. And I will be recycling it. So in 2 years, please make sure Talia gets Mount Pinatubo. I would appreciate that. But no, it was very cool. I know it's a fan favorite. Once they get to 6th grade, it's all the rave, always the volcanoes and setting them off outside. So again, another tradition. We've been doing this for decades now, but I like to see those traditions carried out. So thank you for that as well. And I want that back. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Maria. Pete?
Thanks to Ms. Harkness and Mr. Phelps for their presentations. Having a kid in their class this year, he comes home and they're just very happy with those 2 teachers. And it was great to see them present, but just great to see how they have the relationship with the kids and really good. I also want to say I was really happy to see the community here tonight. I think it's something that's always missing from our meetings, and I wish that could have been under different circumstances that we get more community members to our meetings. But I just hope that it's a tough situation, and hope that everybody can just make sure that they're hearing and presenting facts, and that we're getting the right information out. And it's okay to agree to disagree. It's a lost art in our country, and hope that all the adults just understand that kids are watching. This is how kids learn that it's okay to disagree, but it's done in the right way, and that we can all get through it. And hopefully that we have a good outcome at the end of this, and hopefully Gunner's back.
Nearly.
Sure. So I want to start out by thanking our veterans from this month. There is one special community member that I don't know if he was honored, but he celebrates his 103rd birthday this week on the 20th, and he fought for the U.S. Army in many years ago. So his name is Wilbur Easton, and I want to say he's probably our oldest veteran in Oakfield. So a big shout out to him to just share the love. I want to thank the Chamberlains for coming in and presenting to us. I think we as a board care deeply about this situation, and I loved seeing the community support. It is truly a family support, so voices were heard today for sure. One of the great things about Oakfield, and we've said it many times, is our students, our teachers, the administration. I'm seeing such a huge collaboration between the three this year. It's across the district, elementary to the high school, and I just want to say thank you, because that collaboration continues to inspire us as a board. So hearing from the teachers last month and this month, and seeing that inspiration really makes me so excited. The board is here to support you, and I think that's why I became a board member, is because I wanted to have that ability to help the community and to help the teachers, help the students. So seeing this come together with Rob as our leader right now is huge. In the last 3 years, I feel like we're really starting to move in a positive direction where all parties are felt supported. And you can see that here with the teachers coming in today and showing off their grades, their mastery. This is really exciting for me, as the last 3 years is just getting better and better. So thank you to all of you for doing this for the school. That's it.
Thanks, Natalie. Jackie?
That's it. Mr. Reed, thanks for the volcano project. Riley's will be sitting at my front yard. If somebody wants to pick it up for next year, use it, feel free. It was not a mommy and me project. It's a do-it-yourself, figure it out. Collect what you got to do and turn it in. I'm glad it's off my table. So it was fun, though. It's always fun. It's definitely the traditions, again, those types of things. I don't want to say this publicly. Don't let Lily, my oldest daughter, hear, but I'm not sure what she did. I have no idea.
A long time ago.
Don't tell me. Don't let her. She'll kill me. But definitely nice to see. I think I had a bunch of kids do a variety of different options. So pretty funny to have that tradition, but we like it. So the Veterans Assembly, another long-standing tradition. I know my dad he's 89, and he is still trying to come as much as he can to those assemblies, and he really, really appreciates it. So I know he finds that incredibly touching, and I do too, to see him so happy about that stuff. So I appreciate that tradition as well. Love the presentations that we always get. Really nice to see the passion of the teachers and the departments, and how much they truly care about. Again, we talked about putting a lot of pressure on herself, but that goes for a lot of people in that same boat, a lot of the teachers, and I think that's why we always are striving as a district, as teachers, as school, and that is modeled so that those kids can get that, and I really like that, because it's better than, if you're better than what you were yesterday, that's at least better. Yes, it's not maybe 100, it's not perfect, but it's not always perfection. It's always about moving the needle, in my opinion, getting better than you were yesterday, whatever you do. So that's one thing. And just out of the thanks for the community, I love the community support. I absolutely, this is what Oakfield is about. This is why my kids come here. This is why I'm still here. This is why I came back after leaving, and family does that too. But this is big stuff, and I appreciate and hear the voices. It's heavy and it's hard, and it's not easy to be in the seat as a board member, as a parent, as a friend, as a family member. Very difficult. The sincerity is there, and because we're in this position as board members, we can't always talk, we can't always publicize, and I'm in the medical profession. I can't talk about certain things that you can't talk about. So, but that does not mean that in my heart, in my soul, in my body, that I do not hear, that I do not listen. And I appreciate every single person's devotion, support, and voice. And I'm grateful for that. No matter what the outcome is, agree to disagree, I appreciate that. And I hope that everybody appreciates the position that we are in as 7 members, making decisions for a lot of people. So thank you to everybody for that. And thank you for all the support for coming for Gunner.
Thanks, Jackie. Well, if you're bringing up cross-country shirts, there was a cross-country shirt that said, "Nothing ever comes to one that is worth having except for the result of hard work." And it was right on the front of the cross-country shirt, 1993, 1994, one of those years. And I thought, man, Mr. Goldstein, he's one smart guy, right? This guy's brilliant. I read a few books, got a little bit older, and I realized it was Frederick Douglass that actually said it, and it was not Arthur Goldstein. But it held in my head for years and years and years, and I think it's applicable in this situation here, right? I think as a board, man, it has not been easy the last 6 or 7 months for a myriad of reasons. But every time we've been faced with a challenge, we've done our best to first listen, and then empathize, and then think, what is our role? Tonight, we listen. And our role, as much as I would like, and we would like to be candid and have a response back and forth, we can't tonight. It's if you know me even a little bit, it's really hard for me not to have something come right back out of my mouth. So it's really hard. For, support, against it, whatever. But I appreciate how hard it is to go through a situation like this, and that what we want the outcome to be is best case for that family. In this situation, we're just going to have to let the process unfold, and hopefully they understand that we're part of the community as well, and we appreciate when they come in here and not just support Gunner, but support us as well as members, because we do realize why we're sitting here is because of the people that were in this room earlier tonight. Many of them were advocates for us when we ran, so we appreciate that. I think overall, I am very thankful for Mr. Banzer, even though he never takes any credit for anything, but thank you, Mr. Banzer, for being here. And then there's one other just point of clarity that I would like to make. So this Thursday, we do have a meeting this Thursday night. It's at 6 o'clock. And it is not, the point of this meeting is to meet with Mr. McDonald just to outline what our process is going to be moving forward in our superintendent search. That's the purpose of this meeting, and that's that. There will be no vote, I don't believe, at all on this night. It's just going to kind of outline what are the dates that are coming up, how are we going to go through this process, and we'll have that discussion then. So obviously we're in the hunt for a new superintendent. As much as we love you, Rob, I think you've done your time, man, and at some point we're going to have to unfortunately replace you. So that's really the function of Thursday night's meeting. So hopefully that adds clarity to if anybody that was confused before. So with that being said, we have to make a motion to go into executive session. I want to make sure that I say it correctly. Be it resolved that the Board of Education will enter an executive session at 7:14 to discuss the superintendent's contract. No, that's not it.
That's an old one.
That's an old one. Holy smokes. Oh, you're good to go, buddy. Yikes. Our reason will be to discuss matters of
current and pending litigation.
Thank you for that language. Current and pending litigation. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy it. Right, Nate? That's right. We're going to go 2 turkeys this year. Fried turkey to smoked one. Look out.